Hello people, my name is Rage, and welcome one and all to Bloodborne and the dark streets of Yharnam. What we are about to do today is begin our journey of monster hunting, boss hunting, the very biggest and baddest badasses that this quite awesome city has to offer, and we are going to start with not technically the first boss, as you do have a choice of two, but certainly the one most of you will be encountering first, the Cleric beast. And as you can see, he's a little bit of a step up from what you're used to facing. So what this video is going to be is detailing my experiences with him, how I eventually managed to conquer his deliciously fur physics ass. That's a weird sentence to say, actually, as well as include some tips and tricks to help you guys when you encounter this beastie. So as you can see, you are on a bridge while fighting him, and this brings me to your first main opponent when combating the Cleric beast, and that is the camera angle, because while moving down the bridge you are fine, but as you try to move around him in a circle, you will often find your camera stuck in walls, and when you ever get close to him, you will often find your camera stuck in his crotch. And I don't know about you, but I often prefer to not have my camera in a massive demon beast's crotch, so that is something you have to be aware of. You have to manage your space and only go past him when you absolutely have to, when you'd otherwise run out of backing up bridge space. So as you can see, I'm kind of just going backwards and forwards. This is literally my first encounter. I didn't even know the boss was going to be here. I was just kind of RP walking down the street because I was showing someone the game actually, and then lo and behold, Cleric beast. So that was really a trial by fire there. And I'm burning through a lot of healing, getting hit a lot, trying to learn his weak spots, getting behind him occasionally and getting some hits in, but it's feeling like a very slow, inefficient way of killing him. And I was like, there's kind of got to be a better way of doing this. And in the starting armor, you are going to get killed in roughly 3 hits from him, so you really have to be careful, and you really have to use your dodging invincibility frames to get past his swipe. So honestly, this entire fight was just me kind of getting a feel for his moveset, which I would recommend doing. He does a few things that leave openings, and he's quite easy to dodge behind and stab a lot, but as you can see, he has a lot of health, and this is taking a fair amount of time. So as we speed up and burn through the fight, it's kind of a very uneven backwards and forth. I'm taking a lot more damage than I'm dealing, and I'm basically thinking, you know what, there's got to be a better way of doing this. There just has to be. So I decided, after dying horribly, to have another go, because I noticed something. So if we traverse through the Nightmare Fog once more, you will notice on the Cleric beast, you can both target his head and his body separately. And if you shoot his head twice at the right time, you can do a visceral attack to the front, which, lo and behold, does a ridiculously awesome amount of damage. The cane whip there, the proper gentleman's weapon, and that was awesome. However, I was vastly unprepared this time, because I just wanted to check that. At least I got my blood echoes, but it doesn't really matter because I am about to get absolutely slammed by him, and there's not much I can do with such a limited amount of healing. In fact, I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm just gonna, can I leave? No, okay, I can't leave, you have to stay in it. It's like Dark Souls. Well, I am so screwed. So obviously, I promptly died, but I had valuable information. But I also decided, you know what? I want to make my character a little bit better. I want to be a little bit stronger, a little bit faster. You know how it is. So I'm going to explore the rest of the area that I'm in, have a look at the lovely level, and see what goodies I can find. So I started, yeah, there it is, absolutely just the camera angle problem making itself known as I get pummeled into a corner. So I explored the area, and just as a little cryptic tip, you might want to go back to where you first start and talk to the lady behind this door, because you get a lovely healing vial, which comes in very handy. It is one use, but it's very powerful, and she also opens up some stuff for later. And then another little quick tip around the area, and as you can see now, boom! There's nothing quite like stabbing a dog right up its well, it's Sniff Place? I guess a dog would call it its Sniff Place. Either way, there is something interesting about the old lady behind that door. So another little tip for you. Either way, I had done a lot of the area, got a lot of blood echoes, and as you can notice, I have found the Hunter's Armor set, which is in the sewers, and I'd recommend you get it, because it's a nice amount of defense up. So this time, I was prepared for my third attempt against the Cleric Beast, and this is what I recommend. Bring a lot of healing, a lot of silver bullets, you can farm them quite easily, badass RP walking towards it. Also, I apologize for any kind of imperfections in the footage here. The capture just decided, I'm gonna be lazy about this. I will of course fix this for future, so please bear with me. So you will notice I have got oil pots. What is really effective to do, throw an oil pot on the Cleric Beast, then switch to Molotov, and because of the oil, it amplifies the damage, and you can do a really, really nice chunk of damage. You can buy Molotovs from the shop in the Hunter's Dream, so you only need to farm about 1,000 blood echoes, and then you can acquire them, and it makes this fight much easier. So as you can see, 2 direct Molotov hits to the head does make him go down, which then lets you get the visceral attack, and you can do the first half of his health bar very quickly. He did manage to phase through that oil pot, which was a little bit interesting, but I'm taking a lot less damage now due to my armor. I'm managing to hit him a lot more, and honestly, Molotovs are fantastic early game against most anything, honestly. So I've got 5 left at this point. I've got a lot of healing. I know I can dance around. I know I can stabby. It's going fairly okay using my other Molotovs. Unfortunately, I only had 2 oil pots, and I did miss one at the start, so I didn't manage to get maximum damage out of that. And from everything I can tell, you can only viscerally attack him once, because you do literally rip his skull out, so you can't rely on that for more damage later down the line. So I knew at this point I was pretty much killing him mano el mano, though I did have 3 pots left. So basically, go find your extra armor set, come armed with as many oil pots as you can farm. They drop off the beastmen in the sewers. Go get 10 Molotov cocktails from the shop in Hunter's Dream, have as much healing and silver bullets as you can think you can get away with, and just play very carefully and slowly, chipping away at his health with the Molotovs when you think you can. As you can see, I've not got that close, I've not had to use that much healing, and I have got him down to this low health. I did miss my last Molotov, which really does suck, but now with enough blood vials, I know I can chip his health away, because I managed to do an okay job at that during my first encounter, and I'm taking less damage, dealing more damage, and generally know what I'm doing a lot more now. So at this point, I was pretty damn confident, and it's just a slow grind till death as we dance around each other. And you eventually get to the point where he's so low and you're like, I just want to kill him. I just want to kill him so bad, but you can't. You cannot get excited and go for the kill because you will get comboed to death and you will hate your life. You really will. The attack where he rams his fist into the ground, you can get a few attacks, leap back, he will explode it out the ground, and then you can get a few more attacks in. That's one of his best openers, though there is a lot of times when you can actually strike him. He's very kind of slow and sluggish when you get him to low health. The jump there, I was like, this is it, I'm just going for it, he's dying, or I am dying, slash, for the love of God, slash! And there it is, he manages to go down, the Cleric Beast slain, the prey slaughtered, and I claim my reward. So there you go, guys, that is the Cleric Beast, that is how I beat him, and he was a badass first boss. Let me know what you thought of this. It was helpful, entertaining, you know the deal. I'd love your constructive criticism and feedback on this. I will be doing the next one for the next boss, who I will leave you to speculate on, who was very interesting, I have to say. But for now, my name has been Rage, this has been the Boss Hunter, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. You've been